What's up, legends? I hope you can hear me clear. So we will start the live stream today. And we'll wait a few more minutes for some people to turn up. Let's see. Today we are sending it. No, not really, but we are cautious today. Let's see. First of course, NQ. I filmed a nice trade recap of this trade that will be uploaded on Monday. So make sure to check that out when it drops. Since this is my bread and butter setup, guys. I trade this trade at this setup I do every day, Monday to Friday. And it prints me consistently. It has its ups and it has its downs, but over the long term it will print. So make sure on Monday you can check this video. It's a very simple video, really nice. And today, let's check. It's now 15:36. So now we are waiting for my opening range to form. 15:30 to 15:45. 30, 35 and 40. Those three candles, I have to wait until they get printed. And then I can officially start looking for trades. If you're here, make sure hit the chat. Write me that you are here and I will, of course, also answer all your questions, everything that you need. Make sure to write it in chat. No need to be shy. So yeah, let's check now. We will start with analyzing NQ. We will start analyzing market structure on NQ. But yeah, as you can see, we don't need to be professionals to see that this is a heavy downtrend. We had this leg to the upside right here. And then this big boy to the downside. So this is bearish market structure, guys. This is not a leg. This is the leg. Why? Because my two candle rule. We have only one consecutive down candle here. So this is not a valid leg. So here we have two consecutive down candles. So it's from here to here. Why I do this? To make market structure objective, basically. It has to be the same every day. When price gets really choppy, market structure can be very different from day to day how you interpret it, or I don't know the exact word. Sorry, I'm not an English speaker, but yeah, it can vary from day to day if it gets really ugly. And with the two candle rule, you can filter out the noise and you will always draw market structure the same. And for our data that we collect, we need to look at market structure the same every day. So yeah, then we take this low. So here, right here, everything in between this high and this low was just noise. I don't care about what's going on in between here because market is bearish to me. But now that we take this low, we can check. Market is obviously still bearish, but we don't need to break this high anymore. We now need to break. We will analyze which high we need to break to get bullish. And the winner is this high. For now, this is the high to break to get bullish. Why? Obviously just market structure. Again, here we have 2 down candles, but here we only have 1 up candle. So this is not a valid leg. It's not like this. It's like this. And then we have this upside move again, 2 up candles, and here we have 2 down candles again. So this is the leg. And now we grabbed liquidity with this down leg, and this is now the high to break to get back to bullish. And as long as we don't break that, market is bearish to me, except we will print another high and then sweep the low, and then obviously this will be the high to break. But for now that's not the case. For now, this is the high that we have to break. And now we have to wait 4 more minutes until the opening range gets printed. And when the opening range gets printed, I can make a decision what I will trade today. For now, this is the high of the opening range and this is the low. Let's see if this low stays the low. We could still go lower, of course. I'm just drawing it temporarily. And now we have to wait for 3 more minutes until this candle prints, and then we have the opening range, and then we can see what are the triggers for longs, and we also see what are the triggers for shorts, because we always have both scenarios, guys. We can have both scenarios. I don't say that we always have both scenarios, but we can have both scenarios if price action is right. And that's what it's all about, guys. You have to react to the market. You don't tell the future with trading. You're not a fortune teller. You react to certain outcomes with certain probabilities by the data that you collect. That gives you the confidence to execute your system, you know. You don't need to exactly say, okay, this will happen. Because nobody knows. What you can have is your scenarios. For example, I have this scenario and I have this scenario. And if one of those scenarios will appear, then I will react, I will take my trade, and I know with certain probabilities that the trade will work out. That's it. That's trading. Trading is not telling the future. Most people get that wrong. So as you can see, the loan is not holding for now. We need to wait and readjust. Always feel free to ask, to write questions in the chat, guys. You can ask me anything. And now we have to wait 1 minute and 30 seconds more. I just longed Solana on an evaluation account because I want to pass another evaluation. And I just longed this boy because this was probably the tariff driven dump. So tariffs got announced and I just started longing right here. I hope it will go up. My second scenario would be that we sweep the lows again. If I have to trade properly, I would wait for a sweep of the lows on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I updated today on X that this is my scenario that I will take for my high probability trades. So a sweep of the lows, then a proper shift in structure with my 2 candle rule and with a valid shift, not only a liquidity grab, valid shift in structure, and I will take those setups. This is a very risky setup and I just did it because I have the money to breach a few challenges, but I rather pass the challenges quicker, guys. That's why I took this trade, since the tariff driven dump will probably get retraced. We might do this, we might do this, I don't know. With this trade I just have some exposure in case we don't sweep the lows anymore, but if we do, those are my scenarios that I posted on X this morning. And now NQ has printed the low. So this is now the opening range, guys. 1530, 35 and 40. Those 3 candles, top and bottom, are the opening range. Now let's get to the scenarios. Jamie Donaldson, what's up? What's up? Very welcome to the stream. Lewis Davis, what's up? I I recognize your name. On the 2 candle rule, what time frame do you use it on crypto? I use it on the time frame that I trade. So if I wanna trade on the hour one, I use it on the hour one. I always use it on the time frame that I analyze the chart. So basically I use it every time. I never not use it, you know? Okay, back to NQ. Now we have 2 scenarios. And one scenario is more likely than the other one, I can see now. Now that we have printed the opening range, market is bearish. If we get below here and we close 1 candle below, I will take the retest and short the range low with stops at the range high. With take profit at 1.5 R deviation of the range. Invalidation is not very beautiful today, but that's often the case. And I just go with the probabilities, guys. My data tells me that if this happens, we go below the range low while market is bearish. We close below the range low with everything with the 2 candle rule applied. My data tells me that if this happens, it's the chance that 50% of the time price will reach this point. And with 50% of my trades winning and 50% losing, so there's always the chance that we hit stop loss for 50% and the chance that we hit take profit for 50%. And if you apply the correct risk management with the 1.5 R, if you win 50 trades and if you lose 50 trades, you will make 25% on your money, because 50 trades winning with 1.5 R are 75 R, minus 50 losing, so minus 50, you stay with 25 R. And that's the most likely scenario for today, this short that I just explained to you guys. Why is a long scenario unlikely today? How many accounts are you trying to run now? There are more prop accounts here. I run prop accounts. I trade with 2 prop firms currently, and I'm mostly fully allocated with them. And it's split on around 5 accounts. If I passed another evaluation, it's 6 accounts and I'm fully allocated. So 6 accounts, and I only trade 1 pair on each account. If that answers your question. And then of course I have my private accounts as well, where I take. Yes, we back. Now second scenario, which is not very likely today. There's always the long scenario as well, guys. But today, if we get above the range high, I cannot just set my entry at the range high and stop loss at the range low. Why? If anyone can guess that, I will send you 5 USDT. I give you 20 seconds. Why can I not take this long? Give you a few more seconds, guys. If anyone can guess it, you get 5 USDT. Seems like no one is guessing it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because we broke bearish market. Lewis, my man. Yes, we are bearish. So that means market is what? Yeah, market is bearish. So I cannot take this long because I am not trading against the trend. I am not trading against the bearish market. I will never long bearish market and I will never short a bullish market. So what do we need to have to get long today? By the way, Lewis, send me your wallet in my Twitter DMs and you will get 5 USDT. Good job, good job. What do we need to get the long scenario, guys? We need to shift market structure back to bullish. And since this is the last high to break, we would need to close 2 candles above here and then I could take this long. But the problem with that is, how likely is it that we will get to this point and then retrace completely after breaking structure? So 2 candle closes above here. Not only 1 candle close, but 2 candle closes, guys. What are the odds that we will do this and this and this? It's way more likely that we go above here and then tag this point and then we could go down. I don't care about that anymore, because this 1.2 area, it's 2.2, but that's just a fib tool. You can ignore that. It's 1.2 R from the range. So range, 1.2 R from the range. If price hits this area, I am always setting my trades break even if I am in a trade. So that means if I get this short scenario, I get filled and price reaches this area on the 1.2 R, I will set my trade break even. But now if we go above here and close if we close 2 candle closes above here and we reach this point, my trade would be break even already. So then I would just cancel my limit order, because it doesn't make sense if my trade would be break even. If I would be in, then I will not obviously leave my limit order. So for the long scenario, which is not likely, we need 2 candle closes above here. Then I would set limit orders at the range high, and then I would try the trade. But we probably, if we get above here and close above here, we will also reach this point. So that invalidates my limit orders and I set my trade. I would set my trade break even. In this case, I would just cancel the orders. Amarelli 9173, welcome. Hello, sir. So I hope that makes sense, guys. If it doesn't make sense or if you have questions, feel free to let me know. Now we could also wick into this low again without closing below the range low. But we only allowed to wick below. So if we close 1 candle below, it's my short scenario activated. If we only have a wick below and close back in the range, then that would make this the high to break again. And then we could get the long scenario easily. So those are the scenarios for today. We have the instant short scenario. 1 candle close below the range low is enough for me to take a short position because market is bearish. Then we need to have 2 candle closes be up above here, and then price needs to retrace to the range high, and then I take the long. Or 1 wick below here, grabbing liquidity of the lows again without closing below the range low. Then that would mean we would shift structure back at this high, and then I would take the long if we have 1 candle close above the range high. Those are the 3 scenarios for today, guys. I'm yapping a lot. I hope it's all clear to you. Let's see what this is doing. It's doing nothing. I took this on an evaluation account and it's up $200, guys. Wild. And Bitcoin and Ethereum is also clear since I posted it on my X page this morning. Make sure to follow me on X if you are not following me, because I drop my charts every day. We hit a lot of nice trades the last weeks. Is this similar to opening range breakout strategy? Yes, this is very similar to the opening range breakout strategy. But I gave it my own touch with my 2 candle rule, and obviously I collected my data myself on my system, so my data tells me that it works. But it's similar, yes, it's similar. Longs for the bearish retest. What do you mean with that, Amarali? Please explain, because I don't know. So as you can see, now we are above the range high. If we close like this and market would be bullish, then I would take a long. If we close above the range high, I would take the long. But since market is bearish until we break this, I'm not allowed to take longs until we break this high. I mean, it's very easy explained. I try to explain it easy. But maybe if you didn't get it, feel free to let me know. But that's the plan for today, guys. Very simple, as always. And now we are getting a little bit of movement on NQ, but it's against our system, so we are not allowed to take a long. But since I explained everything, if any one of you guys has a chart request, you can also write in the chat what ticker you want me to look at, and I will analyze it for you. Feel free to do so. Let's also check Euro, what Euro is doing. This one was from last stream. I remember someone asking about this setup, and I told them that it's not very likely since you're trading against our 4 trend. And as you can see, I was right. Oh, your name is crazy, bro. Yalo Lidin Papiev. Sorry if I spelled it wrong or said it wrong. Hype. Okay, hype. Hype USDT. And do you want to see higher time frame, lower time frame? Bro, what is this? Ah, yeah, 50%. Not that bad. It looked worse. Let's check daily. I mean, I don't have a lot of data on this chart. Higher time frame. Let's see if another chart, if another exchange has more data on it. Oh yeah, that's better. I can work with that. So let's go on the... Yeah, it's crazy because this makes it hard to analyze. I'll just ignore this huge candle. Let's go on the daily. Daily is responsible. And we can clearly see that we are trending down. We have 2 down candles. Here we have 2 up candles. So this is a valid leg. And this was the last leg down on the daily. So currently it's clearly bearish. The time to take a short position was right here when you retraced into it. When we retraced into this discount zone, you switched structure right here. I would be in this trade if I would have looked at this chart. But I'm not, so let's see the daily. As I said, This is the bearish leg, the last one. What I would wait for now is, if you break above here on the daily, it's looking good for longs. Since you have lots of room to the upside, you know. Have a clear market structure shift, 2 candle closes above here. Then you can take longs, either market enter with stops at the lows. You have so much room to the upside, so you can market enter if you close somewhat around this area. That would be a first long scenario for this. The scenario that I would like more is another sweep right here. That means then the high would be this one. And then you could long with an even better RR. Stop then below the sweep. Like it's either then this high, or you print another high where you can shift structure. And then you have all those targets to the upside. That would be my second scenario. So that's on the daily. Now on the lower time frame as well, let's see, 4 hour. Oh, I need to check NQ if it's doing something. Yeah, it's not. It's above range. It's above the range high, but we haven't broke structure yet. So we need to wait for something. On the hour 4, hype is in this downtrend, and it shifted structure right here. Here this was not a valid shift. We only had 1 candle above. We need 2 candle closes. So we shifted structure right here. And then I would have longed. Just a range retest, you know. But since this is already out, we need to check. Structure turned bearish right here. Then back to bullish. And this was one nice leg to the upside. And now we actually swept this low, which is very cool. Since hour 4 is now still bullish, as long as we don't close 2 candle closes below here, the hour 4 looks pretty nice for longs. Now obviously you don't blindly long, you would need to wait for confirmation. And my confirmation would be on the hour 1. We need another sweep of this low. Then we have a clean high that we can break. You know what I'm saying? And then I would take it long with the stop at the lows. And I don't know, somewhere around here, 2R, that's very nice for a first take profit. If you feel crazy, you can extend it to the second, to the highest high right here. And that would be a sick trade. But obviously you need one more sweep of the low, since the high is this right now and it's way too far above. So you need another sweep that gives you a new high to break market structure, and then you could take this long. Since hour 4 is in favor of your trend, hour 4 is bullish. And yeah, one more sweep of these lows. As long as you don't close 2 hour 4 candles below here, it's fine. And if you then switch structure to the upside, then I would long this chart. Jalolidin, Paplier, I hope that helped you. Sorry for your name butchering. Any more questions, guys, or any more chart requests? If you have a chart should look at, I will look at it. Thanks, man. You're welcome. Very welcome you are. Gold is in a big bull market again, boys. It's crazy. It's crazy. Gold. Gold, guys. Buy gold. I bought this gold when it was like here. I thought I will buy the top, but I didn't. It's actually up 17%. Crazy, crazy. Maybe my Bitcoin long-term view is I'm buying Bitcoin every month, bounce a little bit, but my ideal scenario, I got it here. This would be my dream scenario for Bitcoin. It's very similar to this price action in 2022. I'm not saying that this will happen, but if this happens, I will buy lots of. I will increase my buys every month. I am now buying every month. I will even put more into it, you know. This would be my dream scenario. Do you use open interest and order book step kind of data for your trading? No, I don't use that. It's purely based on price action and liquidity, and combining that with my own data collecting about my trading system. We have a trade tracker that tracks your trades, and with that we can be confident about our trading systems, you know. The data doesn't lie. If you collect the data right, of course. Those are the things that we teach. Yeah, we are not breaking this high yet. So if we break this high with 2 candle closes and we are not taking out the 1.2 point, I will take a long, or I will set limits. But first we need to break this high. My Solana trade is at break even. Or not break even, it's up $90. Are there any more questions, guys? What did you feel when you make your first 10k from trading after so much trial and error, bro? That's a very nice question. Honestly, I realized it only a few weeks later, because I was so locked up in the process of becoming a trader, I completely forgot about the money that comes with trading. I just said to myself, if I want to be a trader and I want to make money trading, I need to focus on the process of trading, you know. I completely blended out all the money that comes with it, and I just said, I have to be the best at trading, I don't have to be the best at making money, because if I am the best at trading, the money will follow. And I completely overlooked the money aspect at some point. And a few weeks later I realized that I'm basically making a living with trading. And a few weeks later then decided to go for it. But yeah, it feels, of course, it feels very nice. Doesn't feel real sometimes, you know. And with the right approach, everybody can make it. Right approach, hard work, being consistent, you know. Those are the most important things. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be special or anything. You just have to be consistent and work hard. But very nice question, Jalolidin. If you have any more questions, boys, feel free to ask. I can see more questions of someone, but for some reason they don't show up in the chat. Why? Digging for dollars. Sorry, I didn't read your question. They only show up on screen. They don't show up in my chat. Even with holiday today, this working. Yes, it can work with holidays as well. I don't really look at the chart when it's holidays. If the NQ market is open, I trade it. Hayflow works even on bank holiday. Oh yeah, that's the same question. Sorry, I didn't see your question, mate. Digging for dollars. Now I saw it. I hope you are not mad at me. I don't know why your question is not showing up in the chat, but it's showing up on the screen. So yeah, I trade my system every day, no matter if it's bank holiday or not. On the Christmas holidays, I decrease my risk. That's the only thing that I do. I decrease it to half, from like 24th of December to 5th, 6th, 7th of January, and then I start trading with normal risk again. Yeah, why it's not showing up? Yes, I don't know too. I don't know too, mate. Like, it's showing on the Streamlabs app, but it's not showing on the YouTube chat. For me, I don't know. Amarali, are you longing? I'm longing, no, not yet. I mean, if you mean Solana, I'm long, yes, but this is a very risky trade. I'm longing if this happens on Bitcoin or this happens on Ethereum. You can check those charts on my X page. Is there any reason you trade US 100 instead of any others, Jamie? Yes, I collected the same trading system data on multiple assets, and on the NQ or US 100 it performed the best. And some data on NQ that we see on our platform that's called Brighter Data, it shows that NQ is supporting this system basically. So it's basically the best for exactly this system that I do with it. And it also had the best results, of course, and why trade anything that has worse results, you know? I'd rather trade the one that has the best results, or had the best results so far. Very good questions, boys. Very nice. Tesla is closed today. So we don't trade any Tesla today. Tesla is coming back tomorrow. Are there any more questions, guys? I have a few more minutes. Do you think Bitcoin is back in range or just deviation and sent to 100K? I mean, to me, currently it's looking bearish. On the weekly, it's bearish. On the daily, it's still bearish. So for now, it's going to zero. As I said, higher time frame, this would be my ideal scenario for Bitcoin and my preferred scenario, since I would accumulate lots of Bitcoins with a better price, you know, like getting a sale of 25%. Imagine you buy a house with a sale on 25%, guys. You would take that deal. And if Bitcoin does the same, you have to take it as well. You know, you can see it as a sale on the supermarket. If your favorite food is on half price, you buy your favorite food, don't you? You're not panicking and saying, oh no, my favorite food goes to zero. And Bitcoin the same. If it goes to this zone, I will buy. I will buy at a huge discount. Since I believe long-term Bitcoin will go up. So at some point we will send it back to 100k, yes. Is the point now? I don't know. I hope it's not, because I hope we go a little lower. PS, hair is looking fine. Definitely holiday haircut. Yes, sir. I was on a podcast on Saturday in London, so I had to get a fresh fade, you know what I'm saying? How many accounts did you breach before getting your first funded account on props? And what change get you funded account, whether psychology or technical side? I breached, I think, I started slow with a few 10Ks. I breached 2 to 3 10K accounts. Then I said to myself, I'm not taking those 10K accounts serious, since you can get them for like $100 or something. And you don't take it serious when there are $100 on the line, you know. I mean, back then it was still a good amount, but still, I then said to myself, I will buy a 200k account and pay 1k, since 1k was a lot of money back then. So I said to myself, I will then take it serious, and then of course I took it serious, but in phase 2 I was 1% out of passing, and then I hit a losing streak, and then I messed it up completely and breached the account. And then I started also treating my psychology and my discipline in other aspects of my life, you know, not only on the charts. I was disciplined in my daily life. I exercise every day. I eat healthy every day, even though on the days I don't want to. That's especially the times when I do it, and those discipline things will reflect on your trading. And then I bought another 200k. I also collected, of course, data on my trading system. The data tells me if my system works long time. Before that, I was basically only gambling, because I didn't know if my trading system works over the long time. And with the data that I collected, that is the biggest confidence spike. So you need to have your trading data, and you need to know if you are making, if your trading system is profitable over the long term. And that was the game changer for me, basically. And then I just stick to my rules, you know. Even though if I hit a losing streak, I will know, okay, my data tells me it's normal to have a losing streak, because losing streaks happened over the last 2 years sometimes. And I see, okay, it's normal. So I just stick to the rules, and I just stick to the system. And if I know long term I will make money, I don't care if I am short term losing, you know what I'm saying? And that was the biggest game changer for me. And of course, technical side, my trading system got way simpler than before. And yeah, all my triggers are very objective, you know, they are the same every day. I don't have any room for interpretation, and that also means that the data that I collect on my system is working and it's relevant. It means something. I hope that answers your. Awesome, guys. Then thank you all for tuning up today. To all the legends in chat, and to all the legends that are watching silently. If you learned something from my streams, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're dropping 2 videos a week, mostly quality videos where you can learn a lot. And follow my X page. My handles are on the side. You can see them here under my cam. Make sure to follow. Lots of value. I'm dropping lots of value for free, guys, for nothing. I only ask for basically like my posts and maybe drop some comments. That's it. So yeah, guys, thank you all for tuning in today from the bottom of my heart. Subscribe to the YouTube, and I wish you good luck with all the trading in the next few days. Next live stream on Monday next week. Peace out, guys. See you in the next one. Thank you.